All the cameras poised, but as yet, no sign of Tonya Harding. We heard that she had a problem with a boot, and I just wonder whether she'll be asking to go last in this group, which will make her the last skater before the potential medal winners. She fell, Tonya, in the warm-up, attempting a triple axel, and she went off the ice and hasn't returned. There's Scott Davies, the United States men's champion.
Løperen har nå 2 minutter på seg til å komme ut på isen.
2 minutes she's been given to appear on the ice.
She has got 2 minutes until she has to be present on the ice.
Here she comes. Quick use of an inhaler before making her way onto the ice with 20 seconds remaining and still doing up her boot. Drama to the finish for Tonya Harding. But how now is she going to perform, and will she try to produce the triple axel?
She certainly looks very uptight.
You need to go out. Okay, Tonya.
She had that fall during the warm-up. Also, we heard that she had some problems with her boot, and that's probably where she went away to have something done to it. But now she comes onto the ice. She was 10th in the technical program, didn't have a good technical program. Going back to 91, she was 2nd in the world and 4th in the last Olympic Games, but, well, here we go. Originally expected to be a triple Lutz. As you saw, it failed. And it looks to me as though she's going to come off the ice immediately. It looks as though she's going across towards the referee to say something, and it looks as though Tonya Harding, well, there you are, she's showing her boot and her skate. This is most unusual. I honestly can't say that in the many years I've been watching this sport, I have seen this happen. Yes, she's certainly having problems. She said she was having problems, and we were told she was having problems. But those are the sort of things that one has to be absolutely right about if one's going to go into an Olympic Games or a World Championship or competitions of this standard.
Well, it was quite clear from that view of the boot that the laces are not tied properly. She hasn't pulled them tight, and I gather the lace has broken, and she just let me off.
What we do is just tie this
But the lace is too short, and she's going to have to attach another lace to that.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, we're going to tie this one and then take the tie. Okay. Okay.
Well, she's certainly going to get her share of the headlines, whatever happens with the decision of the medals.
God damn it. Do you want me to do it? Yeah, put that one in. Put that one. I'll do the whole thing and take it.
Well, she's got what I suspect she wanted all along. She's going to skate last in this group, and so she will skate immediately before the potential medalists. Her marks will be called out as Nancy Kerrigan comes onto the ice to warm up with all her competitors for the medals.
On the ice, representing Canada, Josée Chouinard.
Leslie Strong, the Canadian champion's coach. And Josée Chouinard looking very tense. And this has all rebounded on her. Why, as Elvis Stoico leads the cheers for the Canadian champion, why Tonya Harding was not ready to skate, one can only surmise. But Chouinard taking her full warm-up time, and I think she's entitled to it. And the Canadian champion is all set to skate.
Yes, she was 8th in the technical program. Last year's World, she finished 9th overall and was 9th in the last Olympic Games. First triple jump, which was a flip. And the triple looks, the first jump, she landed badly, but she got the second one in, although it doesn't count as a combination. Triple toe loop. Salto there, that was a good one. Double axel. Use the music nicely during that slow section, and that's a nice low back spin. Double looks there. Pity. That split jump had the triple toe loop. Josée used the music very nicely indeed. Throughout the program, she was well in time, in steps, but unfortunately, 2 positive falls and 1 question mark in the triple jumps. So she didn't have as much in the content as some of the other skaters.
It really hasn't been a lucky Olympics for Josée Chouinard of Laval in Quebec. Obviously put off at the start. She had the problems landing the triple lutz, having already fallen on the triple flip. She did manage to do the double toe loop to follow, but after the extra turn. But she then built her program very well until right at the finish. Falling on the triple toe loop. So the technical merit marks for the Canadian champion. 5.5 is the high point from Japan, with 5.4 from the United States, and a good sprinkling of 5.3s. But she's mixing an expression of concern with the odd smile. 5.5 from Great Britain for artistic mark, another from the United States, 5.6 from Canada, and another 5.5 from Germany, getting sympathetic applause. But she won't remember these Olympics with great joy. The Ukraine judge puts her third, but the rest have her first at the moment. Well, we'll be back to the ladies' free program after the break. Two coaches, Diane Rawlinson and Erika Bakakas. What now is she going to show?
So we shall now see 4 minutes for Tonya Harding to restore her reputation as a fine skater. Good triple loops to start, good height, good movement through the air. And a single axel as opposed to the possibility of a double or triple. A triple flip. That was a good one. loop again, the landing, he came back very sharply. The double axel, the double toe. Go. Neat spin to finish. I think she's happy that she made the 4 minutes. But there were still one or two little question marks in there about her landings on some of her jumps, and some of the jumps she didn't do, as one might have expected on her and her program. She's got very good support around the hall. And there, of course, is Nancy Kerrigan, who will be the first one to come onto the ice for the warm-up for the next group, because Tonya, having been moved around, was the last skater of that group, and very shortly the other skaters will be coming on for the warm-up.
What a brave kid.
Diane Rawlinson and Erika Bakakas, fairly happy, although I think she would probably have liked more.
This was the start. Triple Lutz, which gave her problems in the technical program. While we look at these replays, the young girls are taking lots of flowers off the ice. There wouldn't have been so many had it been the skater from the Czech Republic skating last. There was the possible triple axel that ended up as a single axel. Last group on the ice as Tonya Harding goes to wait for the announcement of her marks. Nancy Kerrigan has been able to put everything out of her mind so far this week, but now comes her greatest test. Had she failed in the technical program, it might have been said, well, she was affected too much by all the problems, the injury, about which this lady is shrouded in suspicion, but she was allowed to come to compete and finally has shown us rather more of her skating style. She gets a 5.7 from the United States and a 5.6 from Canada and Germany for technical merit. Doesn't want to sit, but looking a lot happier than when she left the ice for the first time. Artistic impression marks are down, which is not really surprising. And her performance to the music from the film Jurassic Park really never looked likely to move her up that much, although one of the judges has her in first place at the moment and the rest have her in second, so she may move forward a little bit, but she's not a contender for medals.
Lu Chen. Many Chinese skaters of this standard 30 years ago. This young lady, as Mary has said, has won the bronze medal in the World Championship for the last 2 years. A very fine skater. 6th in the last Olympic Games. 17 years of age. fairly close to the barrier after the landing, which by the way she moved around. But all her jumps are very fast through the air. The turns very quick. Solko. And a triple loop. She does turn very quickly in the air. That was a well-centered spin. Looks again. Triple toe loop. Down on the landing from the triple flip. That was a pity. Well, that one little error right at the end. And she put her hand down. What a pity, because it was a very nice program. It would have been nice to have seen her go through the program without any mistakes at all. She needs to, because she's setting the standard, shall we say, for the medals in this competition. And as the leader of this last group, in which all the top place skaters are competing, including this one, who's in the lead, of course, Nancy Kerrigan, after the technical program. Nancy, getting ready. Dodging out of the way of the flowers that are coming on from all around the ice, and there's a nasty bit in the middle of the ice where it looks as though it's come to bits. Yes, the children are getting it.
Meantime, a look at the triple Lutz from Lu Chen, who skated to a piece of music called The Mission by Ennio Morricone. Double toe loop that followed there. And apart from that one hand down, mission accomplished. Alan said she does, when she gets up in the air on her turns, really turn very quickly indeed. hugely proficient at the loop jump. That was the flip where she put her hand down. She was in fourth place. The technical merit marks 5.8 from the Czech Republic, 5.8 from China, then Japan, then Canada. A new leader, because one assumes that the marks for artistic impression will come pretty close to those. They start with a 5.8 and pick up 2 more, and the rest are 5.7s. So good applause, and deservedly so, for the Chinese champion. All but one judge has her in first place at the moment, the exception being the judge from Germany. More. How focused is she?
A lot of North American supporters in the building, giving her a great deal of support as she comes onto the ice. Leader after the technical program. Remember, she was the same last year, but in this part of the competition last year, she finished 9th, and that put her back to 5th. She will be hoping that this year it won't happen again. Combination there, 2 triple toe loops. Followed by another triple, this time a loop. They're doing the change of music very well. Triple salto, double toe loop. That spin was very well centered. nicely controlled spiral. for a double axel. It wasn't too good a landing, but tremendous reception. Absolutely tremendous. Well, Nancy should be very pleased with that. All the triple jumps she did came off. Just that one tiny little flutter at the end in the last jump, but for everything else, she interpreted the music very well. As the change of music changed, so her style of skating changed, and the flowers around the rink are going to take ages and ages to collect up.
Well, she surveys the scene behind her with a certain amount of disbelief, and is immediately congratulated by Mary Scott-Vold and Evie Scott-Vold. Tears in the audience, tears from her parents, and she knows that she's done herself justice. Everything she did went for her well, except for that landing on the double axel at the end. Triple combination of toe loops, and she offered another combination here, triple salcho, and up for the double toe loop. No difficulty too with the triple lutz. Nice shoulder position, nice running edge. We're getting rather used to that reaction from the Scott-Vold camp. Now, how high the marks? 3 5/8 to start, then a couple of dips to 5/7s, back again to 5/8, 5/7, 5/8. No 9s in the technical merit. Well, these marks are being read out. Oksana Baiul is on the ice, warming up. But there is room for maneuver. Second in the group to go. Second of 6 skaters. 5 9s come up for artistic impression, and rightly so. 6 5 9s. The gauntlet has been thrown down to the world champion and those who follow Oksana Baiul. Every judge at the moment has Nancy Kerrigan in first place, and there she hopes they will leave her. The Ladies Free program continues when we return to...
Well, here I am again in the Kiss and Cry booth where the world watches as the scores flash up. And so far there seems to have been more crying than kissing. Next to sit here tonight will be the teenage Ukrainian world champion, Oksana Baiul, although the latest rumours are that she might not even make it onto the ice tonight. At practice yesterday, she collided with the young German Tonya and had to be led away to the medical rooms where 3 stitches were needed for a cut to her leg. The German girl received a slightly bruised hip. Baiul, of course, is lying in second place after the technical programs, and we're still waiting for a progress report on her injury. And while we're doing that, why don't we take a few minutes to find out a little more about this talented young lady.
Kellogg Sustain proudly presents this profile of an Olympian.
It's easy to remember as you watch Oksana Baiul get ready to go to practice in the morning, walk with friends and other skaters in the afternoon,
What's this?
and dance through the evening, that she has just turned 16. What's not so easy to keep in mind is how much she has gained and how much she has lost in this young life. She can't remember when she began skating. And there's no one to remind her.
I don't remember my first steps, but since I was 5 or 6 years old, I already knew how to do many things. There was a park with a rink where I spent many hours, and I have many memories.
She never knew her father. He disappeared when she was 2 and is presumed dead. A beloved grandmother died 5 years ago. And most tragic was the death of her mother in 1991 to ovarian cancer. Oksana was just 13. The only one to care for her was her coach. But in 1992, he left Ukraine for a job in Canada. Through an intermediary, he asked Galina Smievskaya, Viktor Petrenko's coach, if she would accept a new pupil.
I said that without talking to her parents, I didn't even want to look at her. And when I heard I had nobody to talk to, because she had no one, my hair on my hands and on my head stood on end.
Baiul became not merely a student, but a member of Galina's family. And a new life began that surprised everyone. A girl who finished 12th in the 1991 Soviet Championships finished 2nd 2 years later at the European Championships. And then, in her first ever appearance at the World Championships last March in Prague, accomplished something virtually unheard of. She won.
Nobody comes out of nowhere to win a world championship a year before the Olympic Games and is instantly the favorite to win. It just doesn't happen. Not in this day and age.
Where are you from?
I'm from Odessa.
I'm from Odessa. Repeat after me.
I'm from Odessa.
I'm from Odessa.
She lives in Odessa, but this is where she was born, Dnipropetrovsk in central Ukraine. We were told that she still has a key to the home where she lived with her mother. We asked, but she would not show us that place. You have to remember that this 16-year-old who could be everyone's daughter, in fact, is no one's.
I feel my mother is with me all the time, that she's still crossing my path. And I feel that if she were alive today, she would be as happy for me as I am.
And now, Oksana, world champion and European silver medalist for the last 2 years, 2nd after the technical program. But at the moment, she's joined on the ice by 2 young ladies who are looking for any bits and pieces that came out of all those flowers that were thrown onto the ice for Nancy Kerrigan. I don't think I can ever remember as many flowers being thrown on. And this, of course, is delaying Oksana's call. But the young ladies have now gone off, leading this young lady, who's only 16. And remember, she created a sensation last year when she won the World Championship in '93 at her first appearance in a World Championship. Representing Ukraine, and now ready for the start. Triple looks, good height and good length. That's a triple flip. Her feet were very close together as she landed. That's a good spin. Triple loop. Triple salto there. Sit spin. Toe. And double axel. And another little jump afterwards. Well, she's obviously happy. Didn't make any positive or evident errors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 triple jumps. Applauded by Victor Petrenko, as you saw, looking over the barrier there. But not only did she put in quite a lot of technical content, but she also put the artistic side in and interpreted the music well. And it's going to be a tough one for the judges to sort that because of the technical content she had between her and Nancy. It's going to be very interesting to see.
The dancer on ice, both classic and modern. Hits from Broadway, performed with great style. This was the opening jump, the triple Lutz, and from that moment on I think we could say that a competition which has been bedeviled by debate about injury, even before it started, is not going to be decided by injury. That looked pretty close to being a two-footed landing on the triple flip. And unlike Nancy Kerrigan, she didn't have a combination jump. That was the triple loop, but she did have a sequence at the end. First set of marks surely will favor Kerrigan, but what about the second set? Delight from Gordieva, Grinkov, Petrenko, Russian and Ukraine camp, this lady from Ukraine. Technical merit marks, where she gets a 5.9 and a 5.5. Now look at that for a variation. Kerrigan had 6 5.8s. I don't think so for Oksana Baiul. Galina Chmeskaya, her coach, and the world champion thinks it's gone. Artistic impression marks are good. 6 5.9s. That's exactly the same as Kerrigan. But the other marks are better, and Oksana Baiul, look at the split of the judges, is in the lead. She's ahead of Kerrigan. The tears would seem to be tears of joy in the end. But there are still others to come who can make the decision altered by the judges. Baiul leads from Kerrigan. More from ladies' medal night.
Seem to be playing dodgem cars out there on the warm-up ice. This is Katarina Witt and Surya Bonaly coming together when they least expected, just minutes after Oksana Baiul and Chen Lu almost did the same. But no harm done. It seems the French girl has composed herself and is now ready to make her bid for Olympic glory.
4 times the European champion from France.
Surya Bonaly, in last year's World Championship, she finished in 2nd place, was 3rd in the technical program, but 2nd in the free skating. Now, she's 3rd in the technical program here in Lillehammer. Axel there, which was no problem at all, she being one of the most athletic skaters in the ladies' competition. Triple salto, triple toe loop. And that jump went right by the board. She was going for a triple Lutz. A triple flip. Excellent spin. Triple loop. Very, very close to the boards. Easy double axel. toe loop, but the second one, the landing wasn't too good. And a fall on the triple lutz. To finish, but I really have to say that that was the least effective free skating program I've ever seen Surya give. She's always been so athletic and has been becoming more artistic as well, but on this occasion her athletic prowess let her down on a couple of occasions, and well, I don't think that that's going to help her one little bit. She is such a good skater, and in the norm she's always in there looking for the lead in the free skating. But on this occasion, I'm afraid, it wasn't the best of Surya.
Failure on the first triple lutz started her decline and may have ended Nancy Kerrigan's chances of changing places with Oksana Baiul. Extra turn in the middle. First combination that we looked at. Triple toe, double toe, and she had to really battle at that to hold on. Here's the triple lutz, and down she goes. And she did it twice in the program. So the technical marks, which are normally high across the board, have a dip in the middle of 5.6 from Ukraine. 5.8's the high point. She would have gone in hoping for better than that. Alain Giletti, her coach, to her left, our right as we look. Artistic impression marks. No higher than 5.7, and she is no higher than 4th at the moment. The ladies' free program continues when we return. Last encouragement from Jutta Müller. Will it be a farewell appearance of grace from a great champion? Double Olympic champion, is the last to skate in the Olympic Games of 1994.
A lady with a remarkable career. 6 times European champion, 4 times world champion, twice Olympic gold medalist, and now winding up the figure skating of these Olympic Games. She has a style of her own which is beautiful. Triple toe loop, double toe loop to start. Double salcho. nice combination of spins there. Double flip. Linked in very nicely with those spins. Loop, but it looked as though she almost put her hand down on it. There, a triple toe loop. Looked as though it was going to be a double salto. Beautifully presented, but I'm afraid not enough technical content, and there were a couple of minor faults in the program. But as we said, she presents her program so beautifully. I think she knows herself that it's just not quite as good as she would have liked. It's a lovely wind-up to these championships because of her style and her character. Pity about the minor errors.
But in spite of them, so expressive, so emotive. A dedication to the people of Sarajevo. Where have all the flowers gone? And of course it was in Sarajevo that she won her first Olympic title. Triple toe, double toe loop, her combination with which she opened her program. Double salto. She included the triple loop with some concern. This was the military step sequence. She was thinking about the loop here, and she made it, but with the fingertips down on the ice. But I think many will go away from here with memories of that program. She knew she wouldn't have the technical content to compete, with those a deal younger than she is. She's 28. The Olympic champion is only 16. Crowd wanted better marks. 4-8 from Ukraine. She deserved better than that. I hope that judge is blushing. Doesn't matter at the end of the competition. A great skater should not be given a mark like that. Or am I letting my heart rule my head? 5-8 from the British judge, Wendy Utley, down to 5-1 from Ukraine. Disappointing that she should get such marks, and she's behind the German champion, and that's what the American audience feel about it.
So, no medal for Katarina Witt at these her third Olympics. And even though the medals at last seemed decided, the tension wasn't quite over. There was a lengthy delay before the medal presentations, and rumours abounded. Firstly, that a judging error had overscored Nancy Kerrigan's performance. But then, as Nancy and Lu Chen sat waiting, with no sign of the gold medal winner, the new rumour to filter through was that the organisers couldn't find the Ukrainian national anthem. Whatever the reason, the teenage gold medalist finally did appear, and the presentations began. So, gold to the tearful world champion from the Ukraine, Oksana Baiul. Only once before had a Russian or Soviet skater taken an Olympic medal in ladies figure skating, and that was a bronze back in 1984. And silver to America's dream girl, Nancy Kerrigan, who, despite her undoubted disappointment, maintained the demeanour she's displayed throughout the Harding affair and all that followed. And bronze to Lu Chen, China's first ever medalist in Olympic figure skating, women's or men's. So that's it from the Olympic figure skating arena, except of course for tomorrow night's exhibition skate, when the tensions of Olympic competition have washed away and the boys and girls will come out to play. And still to come here on day 14, ski jumping, hockey, slalom skiing and plenty more, so stay with us.